Hello, welcome back. Box1 here, and today we're going to be looking at this set. This is set 75354, the Coruscant Gaurd Gunship. And it has 5 figures, as you can see right here, and 4 of them are pretty good. No, I'm kidding. They're pretty cool figures, so we'll be looking at that, and we'll also, obviously, be looking at the main build, which is also pretty good. So, without further ado, let's get into the figures, then we'll get on to the ship, and finally, my opinions on this entire set. And the 2 first figures in the set, they're the same figure. They're just the common Coruscant Guard. He came out in 3 sets now. The mech that just came out. There's also the battle pack that he came out in, and then this set. They're pretty cool. They're not expensive at all if you look on the secondary market, being that they came in very cheap sets, besides this one. But yeah, they're just pretty common. Or I should say pretty cool, not pretty common. I don't know what I'm saying. They're pretty cool. I quite like them. I like their armor. I always like the Coruscant Guards. They do have the weird helmet holes, so it's kind of weird. Their helmet shape, of course, but we won't talk too much about that. You already have your opinions on it. Anyway, let's get on to the next figure, which is also a clone. Now, this guy is at the top of the controversy when it comes to this set, and it's hard to see on camera, but in person it's much more apparent, if I can speak. This is Commander Fox, and he's pretty cool. He has a very nice printed comma. Great to see that. No, but that is another thing that I don't like, having the printed commas instead of the cloth like they used to do. He does have dual pistols, which are cool. And the main thing is, as I said, it's hard to see on video, but if you look in person, this is pink. This is not white, as you can see on camera, but it is very, very pink. Not a good thing when it's supposed to be white. Also, it's only supposed to be this top part that's white. It's not supposed to be this secondary part down here that's white. That's supposed to be red, I believe. That's just one of the problems. 2 of the problems, actually. And you can see he does have the normal clone face, which is fine. And I actually like his helmet a lot. I think that's really good. And his legs are okay as well. I just wish he had an actual comma. But yeah, the torso is the main problem. This being pink is really not very appealing to look at. He is still an expensive figure on the aftermarket, being about $30, and I quite like the figure overall. I just wish they did better on him, honestly. The next figure in the set is Padme Amidala, a figure that hadn't come out in a set for a while before this one. And yeah, she is a pretty common pistol in that nice light pearl gray or whatever you call it. She has a very not common face, but I believe it was used on another figure before her. I forget if it's Jyn Erso or what one, but it was used on another figure. She does have this very nice exclusive torso, though, which looks pretty good, and she does have some nice back printing and a very nice hairpiece. Anyway, let's look at the last figure, and also probably my favorite. And that last figure is Chancellor Palpatine. He's very cool. He has this very nice, wow, the color's all bright on this. Try and turn down. That looks a bit more realistic to what it actually looks like. But anyway, he's pretty cool. He looks good. He has this very nice detailed robe that goes all the way down. You can see that looks pretty good. The print there. It also looks good on the front. He has a very nice face print, and I quite like his hairpiece as well. It's been used in a couple sets, but you can see he also does have a double-sided face. Very cool. And with the figures out of the way, which if we turn down the brightness, you can kind of see how pink that torso is. It's a lot more apparent, even still, in person. But anyway, this is going to be pretty cool. So let's get on to the actual gunship, which we have right here. And I guess we'll start at the front and work our way back. The actual front of the gunship is pretty similar to just your normal gunship, besides the color scheme. It has 2 cannons on it, on either side, 2 big guns. And yeah, that's the same as every other gunship. Going up the nose, you have these 2 seats where you can sit pilots in either of them. They don't give you actual pilots, but I think it's actually realistic this time. They would just have Coruscant guards piloting it, unlike the UCS gunship. But anyway, they have these stickered elements on either side, and I'll show you what this looks like with the pilots in the end. But yeah, it has some nice stickered elements here. They're not printed, unfortunately, but it does give you this very nice 4x4 tile in red, or dark red, I should say, which is very cool. But moving back, you also get some nice stripe pattern on the door, which is, I'll talk about the door and the interior in a second. We'll look at the exterior first. We can move up, and this is just the same on the other side. I'll show you the other side at the end, but just know it's the same. Moving up here, you have a carrying handle, which does work pretty good, as most carrying handles do. You just grab it, you can shake it, and it won't break or anything like that. And yeah, works pretty well. It has to be the main highlight you may see on the gunship and make it recognizable is these massive cannons on them on the top. If that sentence didn't make any sense to you, it didn't make any sense to me either. It has cool cannons on the top. That's what I'm trying to say, in a convoluted manner. But moving down the wing, we do have these cannons on the side as well. There are a lot of cannons or guns or big shooty pew-pews on either side. As I said, it is mirrored. And yeah, this is not a ball turret, unfortunately. I wish it was. I think that would look much cooler, but they didn't do that for some reason. Kind of annoying, but okay. And these just shoot. These are the only cannons that actually shoot in the set. And that flew somewhere. Very nice. Moving back behind the ship, we have these two little containers with nothing actually in them, but you can store the figures in the front's blasters in there if you're piloting it. And yeah, it also has this tail gun, which is out of focus, because of course it is. If it will get back in focus, that'd be nice. There we go. And it has this very nice drop-down platform in the back. And it also has a stickered piece under there as well, which is interesting because you never see it. It's hard to show this one on video because of this gunship's angle and stuff like that and how it wants to fall backward. But you can see that just loads up there. You can put a speeder bike in there, have it come out the back. Very cool. Hard to show on video because of the downward angle. There we go on a flat surface. You can kind of see a little bit better how that looks. And I think it looks pretty good. Fits pretty well in there, and I think just good detail. As I said, the other side is just a mirror image, and I guess we can now get into the interior. And a pro tip, don't pick it up by this section. Just a little pro tip there. Oops. And on either side, you have two doors that open up. This little one in the front, that's hard to get into, but you can fit a figure in there if you really want. In the other sets, it would go higher, and you'd be able to get probably a good couple figures in there. This one can fit a couple, but even then the roof is quite low compared to the rest of the ship, and you can't really fit, like, I believe in one of the sets there was a command center. We have a very nice interior, or lack thereof, but it's supposed to be like that. You can fit a good amount of figures in there. We'll just plop all of them in there for demonstration purposes. And although it's not the biggest interior, you can fit all the figures in there. Note, you'll only be able to fit them on the middle floor. You can't fit them on any of these because the door actually knocks them off on the platform, which is annoying. On a lot of the older gunships, and you may notice just by looking at this, it is downsized quite a bit from the others. It could fit a lot more in the older ones, but on this one it can't. And I also don't like that it doesn't have the two opening doors. Kind of unfortunate. Or I guess you can fit them on the 6 inner studs, but even so, that's not too much space. Anyway, this is what it looks like with the actual pilots in there, and they actually stand up quite a bit and are able to fit quite well. And I think it looks pretty good, actually, with them in there. But yeah, that's basically it for the ship. Oh yeah, I guess I can show it with this and all that. You can still carry it, and it won't fall off or anything. But yeah, with everything shown out of the way, we can get on to my final opinion on this set. And I would say that it's a pretty good set. I wouldn't say it's bad, like some people say. I think it's actually a pretty good set, and I like that they actually did it. Maybe not rather than a actual gunship, but I think it's a good thing to do, because I don't think we would have gotten it if they weren't to have done it then. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool little set. It did come at a price, though. It was $140 at retail, but you did see it on sale a lot for much, much lower than that, like $110 or something like that. But anyway, I think it's overall pretty good. It does have some problems, though, such as mainly Fox and, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, this falling off if you just lift up on it too hard, but it is secured a little bit back there. But even so, I could see a kid grabbing it over here and just ripping the entire thing off. Perfect demonstration. But they do have to do that to attach it at the angle. Anyway. But yeah, overall I think it's a pretty cool set. I also like getting so much dark red. You see some massive dark red pieces on the bottom of the wings. It's hard to show. Maybe if we try and tip it up and down. You see some big red pieces there. Some other cool pieces. I quite like that. That's pretty cool. You don't get much dark red in Star Wars. Or I guess I should really say that you don't get it in quantity. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed. I think this review was much better than my older one, which was trash. But anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed. And I shall see you next time, where hopefully we'll be looking at another cool set. Probably not Star Wars, because I think I've reviewed every Star Wars set that I have. Maybe there's one that I haven't, but I don't even know what that would be. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.